Greetings again. Back to another records unboxing. This one is from the good people at Record City, Japan, which, been buying a fair bit from this year. To be honest, you see this is a bit of a hefty one. It is a bundle, again, so not just totally my stuff, but should be some cracking stuff in here. Without further ado, let's get to it. Although, I'm pretty sure it's the Record City people who pack, put the labels on the bottom, and make this upside down. I thought it was Dusty Groove last time I got it wrong. So, I'm actually going to flip it over. Well, all right. My memory prevailed for once. I got a feeling that this now, that is indicating this is the top. So anything under this will be spoilers. So let's just tilt this sucker up and crack on in. Okay. First up, this is one that is not for me. Bit of a surprise buy for my good mate Danny here, because it's a 12-inch and he doesn't normally do 12 inches. So it's a Dougie Fresh record from back in the day. I'd say it's about, what is that, about 86 or something, maybe 87, might be wrong. I'm just gonna turn this over. Oh, sorry, and MC Ricky D. What have we got here? Oh, there it is. Maybe it's 1985, so a little bit earlier. La Di Dadi and the Show. Is that the song? I think it is. Anyway, so I didn't buy this for me. I'll just have a quick squeeze though, for interest's sake, out there. So this is a cracking bargain. It was only 549 yen. So with the current pretty awesome exchange rate, look, that would be barely, I'd say, even touching the $6 Australian mark. It would definitely be under. Now, just for you playing at home, this bundle made the post come down for each record, even including this 12-inch, obviously, only $2.86 Australian per LP post on top of that, which is awesome. So this hitting about the $8 mark or something, just the maths on top of my head. Cracking killer for that. Next up, because I don't have much more to say about the Dougie Fresh one, this one's mine, and I've been after this for a little bit of time and passed up other times. But look, I did invest a little bit more in this one. It's a bit more at the pricey end, but hey, when I compared to elsewhere for this brand new reissue, I came out pretty good compared to other places in the world. And that is Joe McPhee's Nation Time. Oh, sorry, I've got to get rid of the Dougie Fresh record. Sorry, Dougie and gang and crew, I should say, the Get Fresh crew. But yeah, back to this. This is a reissue of Nation Time from what I think is like 1970. Oh no, there you go, 71. Some awesome jazz here. From New York State, not necessarily New York City, New York State, I believe. I did buy recently some of the kind of outtake sessions that were released later in I think the later 70s. But this is the real deal, recorded live. And there it is at Vassar College Urban Centre for Black Studies. I believe it's only got a couple of tracks on here. One taking the whole first side, 1830. Nation Time, the title track, and then we've got Shaky Jake, Scorpions Dance. Still stretched out tracks there. But yeah, some sort of lovely, I don't know how you'd say, it's kind of spiritual, kind of freeish jazz in a way, I suppose. Don't like to always pigeonhole. But yeah, that's a cracking new reissue. So the price I ended up paying for this one, as I think it was nearly almost the most, the second most expensive, I believe, for me in this bundle, was 4780 yen. So we're nearly hitting the 50, I think, at the time of conversion for Australian. So yeah, that little bit of post was just over the 50 mark, probably around about the 52 Australian. But I'm happy every now and again to buy a more expensive quality LP. So this, I'm sure, is going to be super cool. And as you can see here, look at him. He already looks super cool there. Really looking forward to that. And lovely to have that one in my collection. Hopefully all goes well with the reissue. Alrighty. Next. So get this one out here. Now this one, look, in my books, it's probably not totally essential. Doesn't mean it's going to not be nice, but just in terms of the style for this artist, the content, I'm not as excited, but still always nice to have this in my collection. And again, I pulled the trigger because it wasn't overly expensive. And that is John Coltrane's Ballads. Now, that's with the awesome lineup of McCoy Tyner on piano and Jimmy Garrison bass, and Elvin Jones, the great Elvin Jones, on drums. Now, this is not going to be a lively, spirited sort of free jazz sort of smashing out sort of thing. This is, as it says, ballads, a much more mellow affair. It is on Impulse, so it's really nice to see the Impulse logo there. And I paid, just before I crack on and turn it around and stuff like that, let's have a quick look at my cheat sheet. Yeah, so I paid 1980 yen. So again, look, at the time, it was probably just nearing or something like the $20 Australian mark. And it looks in cracking condition. So again, yeah, the $2 something. Hey, I'm not going to quibble over that. For a bit of John Coltrane in the collection. It is a later pressing. You'll see here with the Rainbow MCA label. And but if I carefully take that out, which sometimes is precarious, with one hand on here. There we go. Yeah, so we've got the lovely reproduced original sort of looking Impulse back cover strip here. It's always nice, and it is a gatefold, which we'll have a bit of a crack into. Okay, so let's crack open this gatefold, and yeah, this probably helps to keep the price down. I know it sounds bad, but you know, with the fox in there, so that gives you the indication. Pretty much this is a Japanese pressing reissue. I believe it's a 1980 pressing, and again, that's consistent with the Rainbow MCA label of the time. Now, I know sometimes those later MCA records are sometimes panned a bit due to the quality. I'm going to be confident that being it's a Japanese pressing, and there's the serial there, and I often see the VIM code there, and I'm going to be confident here that this will be decent in terms of quality. And you can see there, yeah, look, Tokyo, Japan, the 80, so 1980 there. But look at the price for Coltrane, and they're still reproducing, as you can see there, sort of out of focus, you know, the impulse spine design. That is still pretty nice to have. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Coltrane. I'll be listening to that when I need a bit of a wind down, something a bit more slower and lower key. All right, next up, this one is Not For Moi. It's a good old Danny boy bundling in with me. And look, I have not heard this record. I know the artist's name, maybe heard a little bit of his work. But yeah, I can't really tell you too much about this one. I just basically ordered it, paid for it, and I can tell you about the price stuff. But that is by, is it Kasumi Watanabe? I'm trying to remember how to pronounce that because it's not even written there. And this is an LP called, I believe it's like Kyllin or Kyllin. I'm not sure how it's meant to be pronounced. K-Y-L-Y-N. And yeah, it looks more like a flag than a album cover. And I believe this is like probably about 1979, I think. So late 70s, I'm pretty sure. So look at that label. It's a Shine Side 2, made in Japan, as you would expect. Yeah, I think we got a 1979 there. It's hard to tell with the glare. Yeah. So I'm not sure if this is going to be fusion driven. I don't know. I've never heard it. We can have a look at the back here. If I'm careful with this, as much as I can be with one hand. Now we have an insert. Just put that over there a little bit so it doesn't slide. Okay, well, we've got an insert. Well, all right. Love me an insert like that. It doesn't just have Japanese writing that I can't read. I've got photos I can read. So that's really cool. Yeah, a little bit of the text on the back, but at least we've got some English translations too. Oh, we've got some Arp Odyssey in there. So we've still got a bit of 70s synth happening there, which is nice. And some synths listed over the side there. Now, bit of sequential circuits. Prophet 5. Very nice. So yeah, look, we've got some synthy stuff happening. Late 70s analog synths, I believe. So that's good sign, if anything. But apart from that, can't tell you much more. Yeah. So on the back here, it is in English, the track listings and the personnel. So that's lovely for our English audiences. Looks in really nice condition. I don't know whether to be jealous yet. Probably. All signs point to yes. Something I might have to stream myself to sample check out. But yeah, now price wise for Mr. Danny Boy, wow, okay. Well, I hope he gets his money's worth here, being that it was only 980 yen. Sorry, just dropped my shit. 980. So yeah, again, yeah, you're only just hitting over the $10 mark with that, and a couple of bucks a post. So 12 to 13. Very nice. Okay, next up. Okay, this hefty one again is not for me. Some more, this one more hip hop here. That again, I can't tell you much about. So sorry. Now this is, I think, a various LP, as in, different artists. I'm not sure combined together or collected together as Definitive Jux presents number 3, I suppose. So I'm going to assume this is the third in the series. Am I that good? Yeah. Felt pretty damn hefty, so I believe this is like at least a 2 LP. There's some stuff in the middle there. Let's have a look on the back here. Similar motifs on the back. I can see right there, yeah, we've got some various artists on here. And oh, so that's, oh, this one's 3 LP. Well, dang. Okay. For interest's sake, let's have a crack on in. Okay, so it feels like the third LP is like floating in the, like, you know, the middle of the gatefold and not in the sleeve at the moment. I'm not sure if that was how it was originally packed. I doubt it. I think it's just been put that way by the good people at Record City, maybe just to make it a bit safer. So I'm really going to have to just be a bit careful. Yeah, I can see the sleeve there, so I just want to be careful that does not spill. We don't have any spillage in the village here. Well, all right, okay, so that's the third LP with side F. With some green motif labels that they're being consistent with. I'll just pop that one over to the side. We've got some nice artwork here with some graph, black and white face. So it looks quite, making it look kind of DIY in a way, which is nice and indie. But I'm not sure, to be honest. I mean, everything on this smacks of sort of very indie release. Apparently it was 2004. I'm looking at the label on the other one. So going back 20 years, 21 years. I can feel the just before the other LPs are just single in there. I won't take them out. So I was in the back, so that's all right. So yeah, look, there's nothing much I can tell you about that except we'll have a look at the price. 3280 yen. Now that's for 3 LPs in a gatefold. So we're hitting the, what's that? Probably the 34. Oh, come back. It just doesn't want to. There we go. So we're hitting about the 34 with conversion, and a little bit of extra post because it's got 3 LPs. So you know, you times the 280 by 3. You know, it's going to be about $7-8. But all up for 3 LPs and looking in nice condition here. Just a little bit of slight wear or slight discoloration from age. Might be some aging, but it looks really nice, very nice, and very hefty package. That okay, cracking along. Yeah, look. Another one I can't really tell you anything about. They've really put them in that order. With another hip hop one for the Good Man Dan here. I can't tell you really anything about because I do not know this. And this is it Latrix or Latrix? Latrix or yeah, I'd say. Featuring it's Latif and lyrics Born and called The Album. Fancy that. And you see, obviously, we've got 2 people's faces there, which would be those 2 people I just said. It says the amateur here. Now, again, was that a gatefold? Yeah, I could feel just before it felt gatefold. It felt pretty hefty. Nothing much more to see really on the back anyway. It's the same thing. Now, this one cost 2,980 yen. So we're over the 30, just over the 30 for that, you know, 30 to probably under 30, 31 Australian for what I believe is 2 LP, from what it felt like. I've looked. And then with a bit of the post, if it's 2 LP, it'll be twice. But that's interesting. So okay. So that does okay, there is a gatefold there. Yeah. So we'll carefully crack that open, have a squeeze. Well, it actually tricked me, or I tricked myself, because it wasn't gatefold. It actually opens from, well, what we'd probably say is the top, except that the spine is here. So really this LP is supposed to be housed this way, I suppose. And but when you view it, you pop that out the top, and what you get is 2 LPs in paper sleeves with the sucker MC. No. So photos on one side, in a sort of mirror image format there, and then busting out with the liner notes and what looks like the lyrics, I believe, there on that side. So it's a nice little pigeon pair kind of inserts there. So yeah, that's kind of cool, I suppose. Something I don't know, but I'm sure if Mr. Danny got it, I'm sure it's quality, especially for the money, for the 2 LPs. Okay, cracking along. All right, now this one is mine, and this is the one I paid the most for. It is an album. It's been on my hit list for a while. You know, probably in the mid-range of once, because I know it's going to be quality, and you know, it's a classic by a classic, awesome artist, soul artist. I'd say you probably pigeonhole this guy as soul back in the day, and that is Donny Hathaway's "Everything Is Everything." Going back to what's that? They believe it's his first album. I'm pretty sure this is the first one, and the second one I think was just his name. It is on the Atco label, which is an Atlantic subsidiary. I believe this is about 1970. I'm stretching my brain for that one at the moment. To be honest, it's very hot here. But yeah, look, quite an iconic, like I suppose in a way, like if you know, it's a cover that it's always been burned in my mind. You know, seeing that cover of Donny with the kids. Now just have a turn around here. So lovely old school looking Atco label, but it's not an old school pressing, and you can tell because number one, first, it's really schmick. Number two, we have a barcode. Okay, so that's okay. It is a 1995 pressing, so mid 90s there, and it is a Japanese pressing. So again, I'm confident quality is in. It said it was, you know, in excellent condition or whatever, and I paid more for this because, look, it is an LP that is hard to get cheap. It does have the Ghetto, which would be the well, say flagship song on here, but he's got a version of "To Be Young, Gifted and Black," the Nina Simone famous song written by Irvin Weldon as well, or co-written. But yeah, look, there's some other awesome songs there, like Trying Times. So yeah, look, I don't have everything Donny Hathaway on LP, but I think I've got like the main ones you need to get. I've at least got his second one on CD, so I've at least got that for now. So no big rush. But anyway, this one, yeah, as you can see, so it is 1970 originally released. Oh, and that's cool there. Phil Upchurch appears on the album. Well, that is really nice to see. That was a surprise there. I'll just have a quick squeeze if there's anybody else coming up. Can't really see unless they're individually. Oh, there we go. So we got Upchurch. Oh, we've got some songs. Yeah, so Ghetto, written by Leroy Hudson as well there. Oh, I've got Morris Jennings there on drums. That's really nice. Very nice. Oh, we got Henry Gibson, who worked with Curtis Mayfield, or the Master Henry Gibson he's often referred to, on some percussion there. And more Morris Jennings. Just have a look. More Morris Jennings. And more Philip Church. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Donny's on keys as well, piano and stuff. Anyway, so King Curtis on guitar. Interesting. But anyway, yeah, so some nice players as well. Now, let's get down to price. As you can see, this cover is in pretty damn cracking condition. I know it's from 95 and not 70, but still, you know, a lot can still happen in 30 years to an LP. Yeah, I know 95 to me doesn't feel that long ago, but when I do my maths, I want to cry that it went so quickly, 30 years. But anyway, I digress. And the pricage for this one, so I'm pretty sure this is the most expensive one I pay. Yeah, 4980 yen. So we're cracking the 50 there. So by the time this conversion is probably about, yeah, it's probably getting around the 52 and then post the single LP. So look, yeah, cracked the 50, but it's looking pretty schmick. It's 30 years old, but look, it's looking pretty damn good. Hey, so a lot of it looks practically new. If you look at that, you know, I mean, there's no marks really at all. Slight bit of discoloration of age, maybe. I don't even know if that is or if it's just the reflection of the fluoro lights. I won't crack open the LP, but I'm very confident it'll be awesome. Okay, moving right along. The next one. This one I bought as a replacement copy for one I bought a few years ago. You know, fairly cheap. And I picked it up, it was around about the $10 mark or something, because, oh yeah, I'll get that for 10, but the quality when I brought it home was not great. So I don't even know if I played I tried to play the whole thing through. So it's not essential, but really, I wanted to get a copy I can have a proper listen to, even though it's late 70s, late in the run for this awesome artist. However, the price to upgrade was cheaper than the one I bought originally. This was only 580 yen. So again, with conversion, you didn't even crack the 6 at the time. But if you add the post, it's under $9. And that is Bob James' Lucky 7. And yeah, look, my other copy does not look that nice, even just visually on the cover. With that striking Tappansy sort of macro close-up image. So yeah, look, I just wanted to give this a proper go. I know it's not Bob James' best LP almost, applaused, LP at all. It is 79, I believe, 1979. But for a Tappansy record, and there'll be some great players. I mean, I'm sure of it. I can't even remember. There will be still some value in here for sure. Now, I'm going to assume this is going to be a US pressing. I can't really see any Japanese marks. I couldn't remember. But hey, because it's not a really sought after title, it probably is. All right, I believe it's gatefold. Let's crack it open. Okay, Ladybug, let's open up. Did you hear that? I think that's a bit of a creak. Gatefold creaking like it hasn't been opened much. But look at that, that's pretty stellar. I mean, is that even a mug? Is that even? No, I think that, I don't know what that is, but that looks like flawless. That is some glossy 1979 goodness right about there. Wow. And again, that typical Tappanzee sort of graphic design layout in the gatefold aesthetic there that they did carry through, which is I really like. They were consistent in the few years they were around, at least. You sort of know what you're getting. Now let's crack on in to see the personnel, because I'm just trying to see it from a distance. It's a bit hard for me to see, but I'm already seeing some killer personnel on here. We've got Idris, we've got Andy Newmark on drums, we've got Steve Gadd. I mean, come on, people. That's, you know, they've got to bring some goodness there. Gary King on bass, yeah. Let's see, Hiram Bullock on vocal. Oh, okay. Oh, and he's on guitar. On guitar there, too. Neil Jason, it says on the front or something about he's just appearing on vocal, but I remember him on some other LPs. He's around this time. Steve Kahn, who also had a LP on Tappanzee early on, I think about 2 years before this one. He might have been the first Tappanzee or one of the earliest. But look, again, this is a who's who of, you know, post-75 fusion, except for, you know, Andy Newmark. Well, I suppose Andy Newmark after Sly Stone went off and played with everyone. Well, not everyone, but, you know, Ralph McDonald, look, you know, he had to turn up. Paddy Austin's there on some vocals. Again, we've got John Faddis on trumpets, Randy Brecker. Yeah, he turns up on lots of stuff as well. And over here we've got Michael Brecker, billed as Mike Brecker, David Sanborn. Yeah, not surprised he's there. We could go on and on. I'm just trying to have a quick squeeze at the last one. Yeah, so, and Mr. Eric Gale there. I must have missed him somewhere. So, look, we've got the right players. It's just the, yeah, it's going to kind of sound wrong, but the wrong year, 1979. But hey, I'm certain there'll still be some value on here. I believe it was in very good plus condition or something. Striking cover art. Didn't even crack a tenner, Australian tenner. Yay. Okay, next up. Now I remember, I just saw some stuff there. Alrighty, this one I have not listened to, but the band is stellar. This is a bit later in the piece. But I think, I don't know if this was ever released outside of Japan. So this is Japanese only sort of, or for Japanese audience pressing, which you'll see in a minute why. But I couldn't pass it up, and with the cover presentation, it's pretty special, even if it's getting a bit old, my copy. And this is the Crusaders, live in Japan, and on Gaku Kai, live in Japan, 1981. So you can see it's late in the piece. Wayne Henderson, yes, has already departed for a fair few years, since the mid-70s, yeah, but we've still got the 3 other cracking players, plus there'll be guests for sure helping out, making source. Now, as you can see, we've got this lovely, look at that, embossed, you can really see it on the camera. I didn't think you would be able to, gold cover, gold embossing, which is special itself, hey? And, yeah, recorded in Japan, so I'm certain, oh, look at that, shiny right down behind me, yeah. And gold prices are up at the moment, so I could make a killing off that. And I think it's got some on the back as well, yeah, look at that. So that's lovely. I don't believe it is gatefold, but that's okay. No. And as I said, there's a bit sort of coming off the top. It's molting a bit. So I am going to take it out of the plastic because it's so shiny. I think it's not doing as much justice. Okay, so yeah, look at shimmery that is. And also it's going to be easier to read the info down here. It's still a little bit tricky because of the sheen. I might have to sort of turning it into the, yeah, there you go. It's all in gold as well. The track titles, which is pretty cool here. They've got a version of Put It Where You Want It, which is a great song. There is Carmel, which is a Joe Sample solo song there as well. And there we go. We've got the three OGs there, Wilton and Sticks and Joe. Now, I believe there's some goodness inside. We'll just have a last goods here. If it goes in focus. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, 1981 all over it. But it's saying Crusaders Records Inc. Okay, that's why it is saying Los Angeles. Oh, so maybe I'm wrong. I thought, okay, maybe it's not a Japanese press. Although there's some stuff there about. Okay, I know. Pressing. Okay, JVC Records Tokyo. So they did. It's just based in California, their production. There you go. So I wasn't a total liar. Look, I believe there's some goodness inside of this. So I'm going to pull out. Yes, so inside we've got the inner sleeve and the insert with some lovely purple sort of motif here. Look at that. Very classy and minimalist there. Lovely photo there of the three lads and just the listings. On the back of this, I believe there's some text or something. Yeah, just some credits as well. And there we've got the guest muses, and yeah, that's right. Alfonso Johnson would be helping out on some bass there. Roland Bautista be helping out on some guitar. Rafael Cruz, I wonder if he's doing, I think he's percussion. Don't hold me to it. So yeah, and then on this one, here we have the English side, and yeah, we've got the Japanese tech side, and it's looking in lovely condition there. I'm not going to crack open the vinyl again. I'm pretty sure I bought it in with a very good plus or excellent condition. But yeah, as I said, the only thing is, I might not be able to see before, but just see there, we're just starting to get some, I don't know, pitting corrosion. I don't know if, yeah, like gold, but yeah, it's just aging there and it's starting to just fail. Maybe it was heat, I don't know. That's the only shame, but hey, I'm not going to cry over that. Now, price-wise, I think I got it pretty well for this, fairly mid-price, and yeah, all up for Crusaders Live. Well, firstly it was 1780 yen. So when converted Australian, it was under 20, and then the bit of post on top. So I would have just probably cracked the 20, a little bit, but not too much. So look, really for that and the condition, really the LP and everything else looks in. You know, I love me Crusaders. I'm sure there's ample value there. Alrighty, and I've never seen it before, by the way. As I said, outside of Japan, outside of that site, so I had to have it. Alrighty, next, again, this one is a replacement LP. Well, sort of replacement slash upgrade, I suppose. I bought a copy of this years ago. I can't even remember where, and it was a non-gatefold copy. It served me well. Awesome album, but it always just felt a little bit short changed on not having the gatefold version. So I did, and again, without breaking the bank, really. And that's the one and only Stevie Wonder's Talking Book. Now, this is a Japanese pressing, I believe, from memory. But again, hey, I'm happy with that because it's going to be awesome. And I think it's still got the texture. It felt texture just before. Just see here. I don't think it's the Braille. I think the original had Braille. But I'm okay with that because, number one, I'm not blind, so I don't need it. And number two, it's no really biggie. I'm more after the gatefold. Yeah, look, what is there to say about this LP that is loved by so many? There we go. We got the red Tamla Motown Japanese logo there. I'll just take the LP out carefully. It also still comes with the Japanese insert. This is lovely. If I can get that out carefully. Yep. And that's looking fairly old too. I can't remember how early this pressing was. I think it was, don't hold me to it, might have been fairly OG. Something will give me a clue soon, I'm sure. I just can't remember everything. And back cover with the English lyrics as usual. And we just go down, yeah, so you can see here, oh, we could for a second. There we go, 73, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna crack this baby open without fuss so we can check the gatefold that I'd been lacking. So, and that is some, by the way, that's some hefty cardboard, okay? Like that's, yeah, no stingy 80s cover. That's the real deal there. Even in Japan. Now, yeah, it does have a slight textured cover, which is nice. Here we go. We love a sunset / sunrise, whichever way you take it. But yeah, that's cool. We've got the whole thing now in the hefty cardboard. Obviously, let's look at the tracks of this awesome album here. Obviously, Sunshine of My Life. Maybe a Baby, I think is a great song. Sort of more of a minimal song. And look, Ray Parker Jr., I didn't realize that before. You got a Bad Girl, obviously it was covered a billion times, and Superstition. So what, I might as well just shut up in a way. But yeah, and then look at that, lead guitar Jeff Beck. Wow, okay. I don't know if I knew that or forgot it, but hey, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so let's crack on in with the price on this beauty. 1480 yen. Man. So, you know what, $15.50 Australia plus the post. Yeah, I mean, yeah, plus the 280 or whatever post. So what are we doing there? Hitting the $18 mark, somewhere around there. Don't even crack the 20 for this, just upgrading this classic album to get a nicer copy and a gatefold copy. Yeah, I was happy with that, and definitely now seeing it, very happy with that. Alrighty, the next one. Now I have this one on a CD, so I know what I'm in for. But not on vinyl. I do have another one of these guys, LPs on vinyl. Unfortunately, it came warped, so I've still got to flatten it one of these days. So hopefully this one is flat as a tack. It does look like it. Nice vocal soul group from the early to sort of mid-ish 70s. Some really nice stuff on here. I think I was actually listening to this the other day in the car, some of this. And that is The Voices of East Harlem, self-titled, The Voices of East Harlem. Yeah, I think sometimes I think they had a bit of gospel stuff as well, to be honest, and then some stuff that leaned more towards the secular realm, we should say, in a way, or popular realm. But very happy to get this. I believe this is, I think, this would be a reissue, a later reissue, but I'm okay with that. I paid for this one 1980 yen. So again, we're just cracking the 20-ish, probably 22, 23 all up, somewhere around there with the post. Now, let's have a look in. That looks really nice. The cover is quite vibrant, still there. We've got the Just Sunshine Records logo there, which I've got a fair few of, few of now that it's becoming quite familiar. Just Sunshine. I'll get this out of here, although I think this is, yeah, a later, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a later pressing. I may learn something here. Okay, good news is that One Dead or Alive is not Bon Jovi on side 2, so don't have a heart attack there. Yeah, but they are, you can see they've got lead vocal, they've got different lead vocalists because, yeah, they're all vocal, vocal group essentially. But they had Leroy Hudson of Curtin label fame and, working with Curtis Mayfield. And as I said, even before with Donny Hathaway, working with them. You can also see the Chuck Rainey, it says Chuck Rainey for support. So that's awesome. They've got some connections here. Richard Tufo there with the arranger here again. Very much associated with the Curtin label and productions there. And you can see there, engineered by Roger Finson, at Curtin Studios in Illinois. So there's the pedigree or whatever, the connections. We just try to look down here. I know this is going to probably, blur out, isn't it? Silly thing. I'm going to take it out of the cover so we can see it properly. Well, all right. So there we go. 1994 reissue. I believe the original, I don't think it says here. And yeah, it's a Japanese reissue. I believe probably by P-Vine Records Association, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm assuming, I'm trying to guess what year, 72 or 73 maybe, the original pressing. I'll flash it up soon on the screen. But yeah, quality work there, quality recording, quality performance. It's a really nice LP. Some sort of, uplifting soul kind of stuff in a way. Sometimes they, had a bit of social commentary, I think. Okay, next up, this is an LP I've had on my hit list for a while. Again, not so much because of the content. The band is great. They're the great chameleons, I would say. I've probably said that before. But this is one that has eluded me in the run of LPs of theirs I want to get to sort of close a bit of a collection up to a certain point in time. I don't want all the LPs, but hey, this is hitting 1980, so we are up to the post 75 thing, but it's still only 1980, so the live instruments are still king here rather than just electro and drum programming and all that sort of stuff. And that is the Bar-Kays as one. Now, you can probably see from the cover, I think by this stage, they were having the Earth, Wind and Fire influence, particularly with their previous album as well in 1979. They're starting to get more that way rather than sort of harder, grittier funk. But that's okay. I've been trying to get this. Look, I did compromise a little bit on the quality, the grading, because it was like, look, I'm sick of looking for this thing. Just to sort of complete a kind of collection as such. And so, yeah, I did. Because you probably can see here, the bottom of that sleeve and the edges, there's some wear and stuff. And I don't think the LP is on top quality there. Again, this is with the Japanese ratings, which is usually better than what it is. It's looking pretty schmick, even on that little bit I look there. So I'm not going to be that miffed. I've got a feeling it's going to be a good, decent copy. If I take that off, we've got the original inner sleeve here. It's a USA pressing as well. So it's the OG thing. It just does have a little bit of tape there. But hey, I don't care. It's on the inner sleeve. I'm not bothered. I'm not playing that part. And again, we're just doubling up with the graphic there. We just got the credits here with the usual late 70s Bar-Kays suspects here. Still a kick in. And I'm pretty sure that at 1980, I don't think there'll be any drum machines. Obviously synthesizers, but and still horns, real horns that is, not those crappy 80s synth horns. Alrighty, and continue with the back cover there. Now there is some tape here. This is the thing. So I'll just crack that out of the yeah, and as you can see, someone went a little bit overboard with the taping of a split seam. Yeah, look, I knew it had a split seam and tape. It just didn't have a photo, but I was willing to take the risk, so I'm not that bothered there, you know, in it. But I don't know why they used such wide tape there, or didn't cut it down for a split seam. So yeah, whereas on the front it's a little bit neater. It's just not the most skilled job. Just a little bit up here, but I'm sure I can do it. That's a glue job. That's easy enough. So look, it's not that noticeable, that part, and the rest is intact, I believe. So it's just that one spine split. I can live with that, definitely. So yeah, let's talk. Let's turn it back around. Let's talk price, because again, look, it's never the cheapest LP. As I said, I don't always see this. Yeah, 1980 yen. So again, just cracking the 20 mark, you know, 20, 22, 23 all up. Which I'm happy with to get the Barcays, even if it's 1980, not their best period, even with a bit of that. But you know, it's the OG thing as well. It's not a reissue, and it's a US pressing as well. So that's the OG thing as well. You can see on here, yeah, printed in USA and stuff. So la la. All right. Oh yeah, on Mercury, in case you didn't catch that yourself. Okay, cracking right along. Next up, well, I did do a bit of getting some upgrades here. Now, again, I bought a version of this a few years ago, and it was graded, I think, as very good. And I went, oh yeah, it wasn't as expensive then, because it's not a key album by this very well-known artist. But really, when I played it, it's not great. It skips and jumps everywhere. So it's really, I've got I had an unlistenable, pretty much unlistenable cover that I wasn't willing to keep playing my turntable and, you know, grinding that needle to oblivion. So I bought it because this was in way better condition to replace the other one. It is from 1975. It is James Brown's Heart. But yeah, looking quite nice as a cover there. So this one though, look, it's very up and down. This is the phase where he was starting to kind of lose it. I know it's probably not very fair to always say, but he was starting just to regurgitate a lot of these old songs and refashion them or redress them up. So it's very hit and miss, this LP. Yeah, so please don't think this is going to be an awesome thing that, oh, this is one you have to get. It is a non-essential James Brown. Yes, it's mid 70s, but this is the thing which is odd about this one. This song here, the title track is such hot, blah, 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 is really a rip-off of David Bowie's Fame. Yeah, and it's disappointing. James Brown shouldn't be ripping people off. They were ripping him off. Look, and you can see there we've got Try Me again, and Please, Please, Please. We can do without, to be honest. Future Shock of the World is pretty decent, and there's a JB's version of that as well. So look, Woman almost, but I think the lyrics are a bit naff and stuff. So yeah, Good Night My Love, yeah. So it's very hit and miss, this one, but again, if I was going to own it and, you know, complete that run, I need a decent copy to listen to give it a proper go. I'm just not expecting the best. but it is in way better condition looking than my other one. And price-wise, look, yeah, I still had to pay a bit for this mid-price, 1980, because of the condition, I suppose, and because of the prestige of James Brown and la la la. I just know what I'm in for here for 1975. Not even his best mid-70s, LP, to be honest. So I just crack in the 20 mark, but look, I just feel better about having a nice copy, really, to be honest. Not much more to say about that one, except move on. Now, the next one's going to be interesting. This one is definitely a reissue of a very hard to get, expensive record of the original. It's very obscure in a way, but it's got a bit of a name for itself. It's one of those oddities that people then find out about later, and then it gets sought after, and then it gets expensive. But this is definitely a reissue, and it actually didn't cost a lot. The original costs, lots. Stupid lots. And I don't know much about this artist, except I think he played on other people's stuff. And he plays keys, organ. Because you'll see in the title, it's Bobby Forrester, organist, on Dobre Records. Now, as I said, this is a reissue. I'm going to go straight for the price on this, which was 2280 yen. So that's quite reasonable, and a lot cheaper to get than the original. So I'm hitting about the 25-6 mark all up, somewhere around there. But yeah, you can see here, so it's still, we're in the shrinky dink here. And if you look at that there, it looks quite, I don't want to say low budget, but there's not a lot of design fanfare on the back here. It's quite austere, I would say, maybe. Now, the only thing I don't know, and I tried to find out but couldn't, was the quality of this reissue, because it's quite inexpensive. It's still got the Dobre Records logo. I can't see any, and I couldn't see any hint of who's reissuing it. So it is possible that this is not official. So I'm just going to put that out there now. I could be in for disappointment. I'm not a big gambler. I usually know when to hold them and know when to fold them. But look, sometimes you've got to give it a go, especially when I tried to do the research and there was nothing to be found in terms of the reissue. What I do know is that the reputation of this record is good, the original. So it's a record I've purposely not previewed for that reason. I sometimes do, and sometimes I want to be surprised. Like as if I was back in the 70s when this was released, and experiencing it for the first time. So we'll find out. To be continued on this reissue. And hopefully it's great value, and hopefully I'm on a winner with that. Okay, next up, hopefully somebody else is on a winner for this one. Segue. This one is not for moi, not for me. This is for Mr. Danny, Mr. D, and I know about this guy. Just don't know about this particular record too much, but hey, I'm sure there's some good value in this, and this is Mr. Bismarck's Biz's Baddest Beats. Now, I do believe this was issued probably later as a sort of a, I guess, like a kind of compilation, specialty LP. Is it two specially priced? Two LP records, 2 record sets, so that's nice. And yeah, Biz with his lovely, well, I can actually say this is toilet humor, I suppose. So yeah, a bit of a crease at the top there. This side here, this one, it's looking a bit manky there. But the rest of it looks like it's holding up pretty well. Just a little bit of wear, like nick, yeah, in places. But you expect that for a lot of hip hop LPs, to be honest, of the time. Let's see. Picking boogers, yeah. Let's see. Is it Just a Friend? Okay, there you go. It's Just a Friend. That's the one everyone will know. I'm trying to see if there's other ones. I probably knew some of these back in the day, to be honest. But I didn't really pursue biz myself, after high school or anything. It's just more of a novelty thing with here every now and again. But yeah, 2LP, not gatefold though. So that's probably why the opening is a little bit, bodged up, because there's 2LPs coming in and out of that thing. But yeah, the rest seems pretty nice. And it feels pretty hefty too, with the 2LPs in. They feel pretty like solid LPs. Does it say when it was released? Oh, here we go, because I'm assuming it was later on. So yeah, we've got 87 to 93 then, and this is 1990, no? Or is it the place? It was 1995. Okay, so obviously after 93, not sure when. I'm assuming that's not 1995. I'm assuming that's 1995 Broadway. But anyway, yeah. So still on the Cold Chillin' label though. Old school, that's good. Yeah, biz, and we got to talk price, even if it's not mine. It's okay. Well, 2LPs, 1980. On the yen there. So again, cracking the 20, but plus 2 lots of postage for the 2LP. Yes, you're probably cracking about the $26 mark around there, something like that. Something around there. So that's actually not too bad, I suppose, for 2LPs. Yeah. So hope you enjoy that, sir. And this one as well is for you to enjoy, someone else to enjoy here, because I have a copy of this. Very nice LP, this one. Great CTI, one off by Alan Holdsworth, Velvet Darkness. Now, just picking that up though, this, not to rain on anyone's parade, I believe this one is not gatefold. I'm sure the original one is, yeah. This must be a later pressing. Yeah, the label is interesting. Is it a Japanese pressing? I'm not sure. Just an odd CTI label. Oh yeah, okay. I just saw it down the bottom. I think that was the giveaway there. Manufactured and distributed by King Record Co. So usually the King Record is the Japanese version pressing of CTIs back in the day. Originally this was 1976. Not sure about this particular issue. Don't know if there's anything inside there. I'll leave that for now. It doesn't feel like it. There might be an insert. But really, really nice record here. I know this is in really good condition too anyway. So there's still value to be had here, even if it's not in gatefold. Who cares? As such, when you want to listen to the music goodness. Price wise for this one, let's have a look. Okay, 2980. So yeah, cracking the 30 Australian there, and plus the post, probably getting up to about 33ish maybe. But for a quality CTI, don't forget that CTI LP, looking in great condition. Yeah, that's money well spent there. Alrighty, moving right along. The next one I bought because it was cheap. kind of complete a run from this artist, because I've bought a few of these from Japan recently, really cheap, of this artist, and this is, I think, the third he put out at around the time on Tappan Zee. So all the planets align, and I bought, well, I'll turn it this way, one with a really bad cover. Wilbert, you naughty boy. Wilbert Longmire, with all my love. Yeah, like, I almost didn't buy it because of this cover. No. But I did. Purely because, again, when I tell you the price, there, it was only 780 yen. So again, about $8 Australian at the time. I just cracked the 10, and it's in really good condition here. So, I think, it's not the most sought after LP. I'll just pull it out of the plastic quickly now, so we can get a feel for the rest of the awesomeness that is with all my love. Now I'm going to just gatefold this open. Okay, so you can see he's got his full glory there. Oh, well, but I don't know. Now, I believe this one was his second, maybe third. Tappan Zee, so Bob James era stuff. I think it was about 1979, maybe 1980. I may be wrong. Are we going to be able to zoom into that, people? Yeah, 1980. There we go. Oh, it's just gone away. Come on, play fair. There we go. Tappan Zee, 1980. Let's look inside. I'm sure it's got this regular. Oh no! Oh, sort of. Sorry, I'm talking without a vision there. Well, it's kind of gone the other way around. They've got the macro for talking, close up on the inside this time. Which is quite unusual. So, but yeah, still kind of the same. Like, they just don't have all the the repeated motif. They've sort of done this almost inside out in a way. So look, I'm not expecting massive, awesome things from here, from this LP, because I think it's going to be a sweeter thing here. Let's have a look who's on here. Gary King on bass, of course. See, look, the usual suspects pretty much with Steve Kahn, Bob James. But we do have Barry Miles on Fender Rhodes on this one as well, which is a bit more out of the ordinary for the Tappan Zee. And someone named Buddy Williams on drums, which I don't know. So a couple of more unknowns there at the end. Brass-wise, we've got some usual suspects there that turn up in the studio stuff. Yeah. But this is the thing that's going to be the challenge. The strings. A lot of strings. Not a big fan of the strings in this sort of jazz. So, yeah, look, you get what you pay for. Kind of been a cheap-ass completist there for Wilbert, sir. But at least he's put his love into that one, apparently. All right. Cracking on, we're still going. Now, oh, that's right, this next one. I've been after this for a long time, purely because of what it is and how it's being presented, and the era it comes from. Even though I've got most of the tracks on this is a compilation from the early 70s. I've got most of these tracks now on the actual LPs. But look, I couldn't pass this up when I saw it, because you don't always see it. And this is a Japanese pressing of this presentation, and that is the best of Kool and the Gang, and it's like their first best of. Now, hard to see in the light probably. It is very, very shimmery gold. And look, still got the lovely Obi on. So I'm just going to turn this sucker around. Look at that OGD light label. So this is OG stuff. It's just a Japanese pressing of it, but I love seeing the OGD light label. We've also got an OG insert, which is fantastic. It's even got some lyrics of the tracks. Now, so this is an early compilation. It's basically got a lot of the tracks on the, I think the first LP, maybe some from the second, I don't know. But it's also got some of their single stuff. Now, I mostly got this too because the one song I do not have is the first song, because it's a non-LP song, I believe, The Penguin. So that's another big reason why I got this. But also, look, the songs on here are cracking. Even though it's a compilation, even though I've got among other things, this is still a great listen anyway. So look at that, eh? You know, got the Let the Music Take Your Mind, which will be the original studio version, I'm guessing. Cool, Here Comes the Fuzz. I don't know if that came out on an LP or a single, but I've got it elsewhere now. Pneumonia, Chocolate Buttermilk. I mean, who's going to take the weight? The Kool and Gang OG song, Cool's back again, Raw Hamburger, Gang's back, Give It Up, Funky Man, watch out on the Funky Man. Yeah, frick. So, hey, this is awesome. And year-wise, I'm just trying to see if it's got a year. I'm going to guess it's about 71, 72. It's early. If I take it out of the plastic, we should be able to get a little bit more shimmery goodness. Just a little bit of a fold up there. Who cares? Look at that. Spectacular. And it deserves to be gold because this is golden era Kool and the Gang. So if you are after wanting to get into Kool and the Gang early stuff on vinyl, although there's some great CD compilations of their early years from, like, what is it, 70 or 69 to about 76. This is a cracking one to get with their funkiest stuff on. But more of the jazz, go for the Cool Jazz, or whatever it's called, LP. That's a compilation of the more jazzy tracks from about 1972 or 3 or something. Price, I hear you say. But what is the price, Doyle? Well, paid a little bit for this, but it is special. I believe it is. 2480. So hitting about the 26-ish. So add the post. I'm still probably under the 30 Australian for this Japanese pressing. Great condition. Not that I really care too much with the Obi strips, and the gold, and Funky Penguin, which I don't have. Alrighty, now take a breath, and we're still going. We're getting it down to it. The next one is fairly new in terms of the reissue, but is actually an older LP from the mid-70s, or even maybe 74, from the Zamrock sort of era of Zambia, with one of the influential drummers. And I'm just trying to remember the actual year, because I think it was, probably about 74 or something around there. And that is Chrissy Zembi, sorry, I just quickly said, Tembo, there we go. And it's also got the Ngozi family, who we also play for on their albums, and there's some solo albums, My Ancestors. So, nice gritty Zamrock stuff from a place you wouldn't expect to have a rock scene in Zambia in the 70s, but for that period, early 70s, getting to the later 70s, in particular probably around 77, 78, they were cooking up some stuff, and they were superheroes there, and he no doubt was one of them too. So there's some really interesting stuff on here, that mixture of sort of almost British rock influence and almost garagey rock sounding, with a little bit of African stuff that sneaks in, and really raw and ready, stripped down, no nonsense stuff, almost, you'd say DIY, very indie. But yeah, it's nice to have something a little bit, not typical, and a bit more unknown, and broadening horizons here, from a different part of the world, and getting to uncover some of that Zamrock stuff that I don't know a whole heap about. I got a couple of things, but yeah, Now, yeah, I won't go into the nasty stuff about what happened to a lot of the Zamrock artists in the 80s. But great to get this reissue in great condition. Price-wise, Mr. Chrissy Zebby Tembo. Again, really reasonably priced. I paid, what was it, 2207? I don't know why 07, but anyway, that's yen, 2207 yen. So again, about 24 Australian, so again, about 26, 27 or up, under the 30. Yay, hey, it's in great condition. Gonna dig me some of that. Okay, we're cracking along, still a few more left. Believe it or not, this is a big haul. Next up, I've had this on my list for a little while, just again, almost been a complete, but it is the right label, the right artist, good time, good era. I think it's about 72, I might be wrong, I'll have a look in a minute. Fantastic alto and tenor sax player. That is Mr. Rusty Bryant on Prestige, and that is For the Good Times. And there he is. He looks like he's having a really good time. I don't know. Is that meant to be ironic? I don't know. Doesn't matter. This LP, I'm sure, is For the Good Times. Obviously, reissue here. Brand new, which I'm excited about. Prestige. Hey, you got to... Oh, here we go. 73. So, yeah, we're still pre-75. I just think he's getting a little bit different in his sound by this time. Probably not totally cooking out, but I'm okay with that. A little bit of a different sense of style sometimes. And, you know, to get you really in the mood, the theme from Deep Throat. So, you know, obviously it's, you know, at the end of the record. We've got some covers there. We've got Killing Me Softly there. We've got A Night in Tunisia. And I'm sure some of the other ones are probably covers as well. Oh, look, Chris Christopherson, For the Good Times. I didn't know that. But that's okay. So, For the Good Times, Rusty Bryant again. Not sure how many more Rusty Bryant LPs from this sort of late 60s, early 70s era I need to get. I'm pretty much up on most of them now, which is lovely. Let's check out the price. Right top. Okay, so brand new, 2280 yen. Damn, that is brand new, you know, reissue. So again, I'm probably hitting the $26, $27 mark. All up like the Bobby Forrester one before. Yeah, I won't dwell on that too much. I know it's going to be some lovely goodness in there. Just so we can crack on. The next one, compilation LP. I paid a bit for, but is again a reissue, brand new. Some fantastic songs. It's not in a gatefold. It is by BGP, but from great label. That is More Funky Truth from Stacks of Funk Volume 2. From the Stacks label, obviously. This one's actually already got, still got the listing price on there anyway. But hey, this is full of goodness here. Some not so known artists, some more known, as you can see here, because some of this is a little bit more obscure, and some not so much, like Barcades and Rufus Thomas, and I think the Staple Singers on there as well. But yeah, just non-stop awesomeness on here. Yeah, highly worth it. As I said, it's not a gatefold. I know they just slipped the two LPs in the one single sleeve thing there. But rock solid. Not much more to say about that, except very nice. And now we're up to the last one. I know I just sort of skipped over that one a bit. This one I got very inexpensive. Yeah, look, I was a bit funny about this at first, but then I listened to it and went, oh, okay. This is pretty good. And it's actually well recorded. I think because of the location, that it was recorded in Europe somewhere. It might have been like I don't know, Switzerland or something, maybe. I'm sure I'll find out in a minute. But an artist who, I believe this was his last studio, or last recording, or I don't know, studio or live. It might have been a bit of both. But anyway, this is Eric Dolphy's last date. Now this comes in many forms, and even with some different colors on the cover, sometimes like a bluish sort of tinge to it rather than the brown. There's a couple of variations. It's usually the same illustration image. I got this one, number one, for the price, number two for the gatefold, and also the quality was up there. So all three things led me to getting this particular Mercury edition, which was not the original label from what I remember. I think it was something like, it might have been Limelight or something. The original, and this is, I think, is a late 70s reissue. I might be wrong. Might have been early 70s, but definitely not the OG. But it doesn't matter because it's in really, really nice knickers there. So, yeah, and he's playing with, I think, some European lads on this one. Just gonna get him to undress there. But again, it's in a nice presentation. And yeah, I got this because it's gatefold too. Some of the editions were not gatefold, so I thought that was a nice little extra bargain on top of it. So it looks quite smart there. I don't know if it's got a year on here. They sometimes put on these things for Japanese pressings of the year of this reissue. No, I can't see that. It's probably not that consequential anyway, because it's not from the... When did this originally come out? It was mid-60s. I'm pretty sure like 66 or something, maybe. Or it might have been recorded at the time. Oh, yeah, and I was hoping this was the case. So see this. It didn't list that it's got this booklet thing inside. Some of them did, some of them didn't. And that's why I took a punt, and it does. Not that I can read it. But, you know, that's added bonus. Oh, yeah, it's got some fox or some stain or whatever's happening there. But, hey, it's okay because we can open up this side. So this is, again, why I took the gamble. I'm happy it's got that there, which I think the originals had. Yeah, so let's see if there's anything over this side, because that's in Japanese, as you can see here. That's okay, so is all that. Still get some pics that we can read. And yeah, here's the personnel. I'll just make sure we go through this. Yeah, so you can see here, these musicians I'm not familiar with. But obviously European somewhere. Mengelberg, Scholz, and Abenik. Now I'm just trying to find where it was recorded. I probably missed it somewhere, or it was probably written in Japanese somewhere. But yeah, look, don't hold me to this. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere like Switzerland or maybe Sweden or somewhere. I know they're different countries. Don't get angry at me, people. Originally, but yeah, I just know I did listen to it, and the sound was online was really nice. Like, it was, you know, clearly recorded, with, you know, some space, and there's, you know. And it did impress me enough to go, yeah, I'll buy that for the grand total sum of 1280 yen. So it was a little bit more expensive than some of the other copies, but I just paid a little bit more. There were some other copies that were way more. So 1280 again, I'm probably cracking the 15, maybe $16 mark Australian, all up somewhere around there, 16. So for a nice bit of mid-60s jazz by the great Eric Dolphy. That's not too far out, by the way. It's not, you know, it's pretty good in that way. I don't think it's as challenging as I expected the first time I listened to it, which is okay by me. But yeah, I really like the package of that. Like the look of the vinyl. And again, hefty you know. By the way, I haven't talked about the tracks on here. Very quickly, there's a really nice version of Monk's Epistrophe that opens the album. Also, there's a great title here. You can see, what's it, Hypochrysmatry I think. So, yeah, like Eat Your Heart Out, Isaac Hayes, and yeah, George Clinton, Parliament Funkadelic, with the crazy extended sort of kooky titles. But yeah, there's some really nice extended tracks on here. But yeah, it doesn't overstay its welcome, I don't think, this album in a way. But yeah, so yeah, there you have it with the Last Date by Eric Dolphy. And let's put that to the side. And lastly, I'm pretty sure I ordered a CD. So here's the cardboard, and there it is, hiding underneath. Almost forgot about that. I know I normally start off with the any CDs, but look, I will just there's no other spoilers here. I'll just dismantle that, grab that out. A bit hard to do with one hand, so I'll just pause and open. All right, so I actually forget what I bought CD-wise. I just remembered I did buy a CD. So let's have a look. Ah, that's right. How cool. Whoops, sorry for the dancing up and down. Yeah, this is, as you can see, Party Down by Little Beaver. I've been running this on LP. It's been a bit elusive. They did reissue it, but it often sells out. Or it's quite expensive. So I bought this here. I don't know if it's got a price on. I didn't pay a lot for it. It's secondhand. I think it was about $4 US, to be honest. You can see it's quite an old reissue, 1993. So yeah, but I'm after the music, and I thought I'll just get this, I'm going to say, in the interim, before I can track down the LP, or hopefully I'll really like. I think I have streamed it once, and it was pretty good. But it was nice to just get another bit of Little Beaver on our album, even if it is on CD and without the that is not the original cover. But it should be in good nick. Should be a good thing. And yeah, that'll about do it for this very long unboxing episode, I suppose. Thanks for bearing with me. Hope you got something out of it. See you later.